The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. This is exactly what's happening right before my eyes and everyone's eyes with how the left, Democrats, are continuing to believe that the Democratic Party is going to somehow make everything all right. The Democratic Party is so very weak and so very corrupt and so very neoliberal and corporatist that they're not really interested in changing the status quo in any way, shape, or form. They're not looking to make life better, particularly for the underprivileged or the poor or the working classes. And I'm talking about the Democratic Party. I'm talking about the DNC. I'm talking about the National Party. And listening to leftists come out and do this dance like you need to vote for Democrats because they're going to stop Trump and they're going to make Trump pay. They're going to just stop allowing him to do what? Executive orders? Donald Trump and his crew of MAGA sicko fucks who are dumb as fuck. They're stupids, to use the Bonhoeffer term. They're stupids, and they're very dangerous because they're so stupid. And they're ignorant, and they're cruel, and they're greedy and venal. So, but this is not about Republicans. This is about this leftist shit online. Go online, and I mean anywhere. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, why do we have so many social media? But anyway, we start naming them. You're like, why do we need all this? But anyway, because suburban white people have to do dances for other people to mimic. Anyway, but the definition of insanity is what I'm seeing right now with these leftists on YouTube. I think a lot of these leftists, anybody that's ever been associated with TYT or anyone that's been associated with, these guys online, the Midas Touch or Brian Doyle or Brian Taylor Cohen or whatever is Tyler Cohen, these people are connected to the Democratic National Committee. They are connected to the Democratic Party. There's no way that these people aren't. They're operatives of the Democratic Party. They are receiving, you see these videos and these videos come out and somebody will make a video, Brian, whatever his name is, you know who I'm talking about, the young guy, I think he's a lawyer, Ben Midas was a lawyer. They make these videos and they get 200,000 hits, 200,000 views within the first 2 hours, 3 hours. And logically speaking, in the middle of the day when people are at work, you're getting 200,000 views just right off the bat in a couple of hours. It makes me think that there's something behind it. There's some bots. You can buy millions of views. It's really not all that expensive. And you can have you can buy subscribers. A lot of people do this to get their initial page going on YouTube. They will buy views. They'll buy subscribers. They'll buy 5,000 subscribers. And then because of the psychological effect of YouTube and the psychological effect of numbers, it's why YouTube removed only the creator can see the thumbs down. When YouTube started, you could see your thumbs down compared to your thumbs up. Now now the public can only see the thumbs up. They don't see the thumbs down. This is how YouTube wants you to manipulate the numbers to post more stuff on YouTube so they can collect more ad revenue and make more money. YouTube doesn't give a shit if you buy 25,000 subs and you buy 500,000 views. If you buy 1 million views, they don't care. If you buy enough views to get one of those dumb plaques, those dumb YouTube plaques, which I actually saw one for sale online. I think it was eBay maybe. And it was some creator from like 5 or 6 years ago who doesn't even do YouTube anymore. And he got, or I don't know, it was that long ago, but it's for sale. And he wants like, I think $500 for it or some shit. And so maybe more. But this is how the YouTube algorithm works. This is how YouTube works. People like Patrick Bet-David, like you're familiar, Lex Friedman, who don't really, come on. They bought their way in. They paid to play. Lex Friedman used to be in everyone's algorithm and nobody could figure out why. Why is this idiot on my, because he's paying to play. Because he's advertising his show on YouTube, and so are many others. And I think the Democratic Party has done this. I think conservatives have definitely done it. I mean, for the fossil fuel industry and Daily Wire. But I can see it on YouTube now where these leftists, they're getting too, and maybe the outrage for Trump is so great that people are just like, I get this alert on my phone and I have to watch it at work, or I have to watch it or whatever. But it just doesn't seem authentic to me. It seems too many views too quick. But having said that, it doesn't really matter if I'm right or wrong what I just said about. That's just my opinion. I don't have any evidence of it. I can't prove it. I'd have to investigate it and spend money and time that I don't want to spend on this or maybe even have to spend on it. But anyway, but the Democratic Party, the Democrats, the left, they want this. They want the Democratic Party. They think the Democratic Party, they're telling their viewers that the Democratic Party is your only hope. You know what your only hope would be as a leftist to now? Is to hope the empire gets taken the fuck down and this country gets broken up into regions. It would be nice if if the West Coast could make their own laws, and the Midwest and the South and the East could make their own laws, or the Northwest or wherever or the Southeast or wherever. If Alabama and Louisiana and Arkansas and Mississippi and every other shithole in the South, they want to be shitholes together, let them be shitholes together. Let them do it. Let them become Christo-fascists who nobody wants to trade with and nobody wants to go on vacation to their places or live. And they'll see a brain drain. They'll see smart people moving out of those areas and moving into other parts of the country that'll become their own states. This is not unrealistic. If you asked me this 15 years ago, I'm saying that secession and the empire is never going down. I can see the empire going down now. And I can see the Democratic Party has been a major influence, a major factor in this because they're one of the two political parties in America. Half the people that can vote in this country don't. And I'll tell you this, the Democrats also, it works to make people afraid of Donald Trump and make afraid of the Republicans and be afraid because that works on Democrats because Democrats deep down know that their own party can't and won't fight Republicans. They will not fight MAGA. They will not challenge them. They will not say, no, we're not voting. No, we're going to walk out on your speech. One representative walked out, Al Green walked out on the speech at the State of the Union. One Democrat. They should have all been arrested. They're not really resisting. They want to keep their careers. Rashida Tlaib, who is a Muslim, who is from, I believe she is a Palestinian descent. I don't know if she's a Muslim, but she's a Palestinian descent. She had a whiteboard writing things down. Like, what are you doing? And this is the Democratic Party that's going to save you. This is the one that the left tells you that we have to support. Didn't you see the big victory of the state senator in Pennsylvania? I mean, you are going to go right back into a corporatist dynamic. It would be better if all of this shit burned to the fucking ground. It would be better that because once the next step of the end of empire, and liberals don't want this. What I understand is liberals who are Democrats, who vote DNC, who love the Democratic National Committee, they love the Democratic National Party, they love everything about the Democrats. They want to see the empire keep going. They love the empire. The empire is good for them. The empire makes them money. They're just ambitious. They just want more. They want money. They want stuff. They want to live in a nice apartment downtown and drive a nice car if they have a car. And they want to be able to go on vacations. They want their 401k to be huge. They want to invest in cryptocurrency, just like everybody else. They want to invest in these new get rich quick schemes, because America has always fallen for the get rich quick schemes. And now you have a bunch of people, these little lying fucking, what is a 25-year-old with 900,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is just insane, sitting in his house or apartment or his parents, wherever the fuck he is, telling you about a 25-year-old telling you about how you need to support the Democratic Party because Donald Trump. The Democratic Party is one of the two parties in power. They're the reason you're here. You go back to them, you'll get the they're just going to keep moving to the right. Hakeem Jeffries and Charles Schumer both have said this. They're moving to the right. John Fetterman is a leader in the Democratic Party. John Fetterman is a fucking terrible person. He's a Zionist. He's a fucking shill for the fucking fracking and oil industries. He's ex-military. He loves empire. This was a guy, I remember reading articles about John Fetterman years ago before he was elected. And they would sell him like he was this. The perfect Democrat is somebody who served in the military because of, 9/11, post 9/11. You got to have them serve in the military. You have to have them be willing to, like guns, like all the male trappings of our society, all the male myths, but you still have to have them want a woman's right to choose. And to sometimes just give some recognition to social issues like LGBTQ rights and things like that. But they never advocate for healthcare for all, Medicare for all. They don't advocate for any real help with groceries or your energy bills. Where is the word nationalization in any of this? We should be nationalizing our oil companies, our water companies, all of it. It should be owned by the government. The Democratic Party doesn't want that. They have no problem with privatization. It's just selective privatization. And the Democratic Party is telling you, just put us back into power and we'll make everything okay again. They won't, they can't, they don't. They don't even protest a president who they have called the next Hitler. That's a fascist. They won't even fight that. They won't even do a protest. They won't even get arrested in the fucking because we have to keep up the professionalism or the camaraderie, whatever the fuck word. It's how the Senate and the House deal with presidential nominees for their cabinet. They didn't stop it. They let it happen. Because they were just advising and consenting. You let a guy on television who has no military experience become the head of the military, the largest military that's ever existed. And Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi as attorney general, but you just keep letting these people. RFK has no business in health and human services. None whatsoever. He's an inveterate liar who any conspiracy theory he finds, he just runs with. Tulsi Gabbard is in a cult. She's a Hindu nationalist. She hates Muslims. She is a Zionist, and she is a terrible person. Tulsi Gabbard is nuts. She's Samoan. Her island, her people have been colonized by white people, and she's still like, hey, fuck it, I'm good. She worships a white guy guru who changed his name to one of those weird Hindu type of, and she talks about him as though he's a god on earth. She's in a fucking cult. She's a fucking opportunist, and they all think they're going to be the president. All of these little ghouls think they're going to be president next. But this is, just of course, like most of my videos, rambling on about stuff that shouldn't be rambling on. I should be focused. But Tulsi Gabbard and all of those little ghouls, Kristi Noem, all of these fucking horrible people, ex-military, fucking people who have more money than brains, people that are convinced who have treaded in conspiracy theories and anti-democratic, not Democratic Party, but anti-democracy, because conservatives know, their ideas are not popular, so they they hate democracy. I remember Ron Paul being the most anti-democracy person I've ever seen, because they know they'll lose, so they have to keep it a republic. So anyway, if you still compete, if you still think the Democrats are on your side, or you still think the Democrats are good, or you still think the Democrats are going to help you, you're incorrect. They're not. Just please go back into November, or go back into August, or go back into September of 24 and see what this party really is, what this party will be. If they ever get power again, they'll do the same shit. But they'll just be less of it, right? Because they'll try to undo what Trump has done, and they'll of course try to overfund things, and they'll try to do things when in fact they're just keeping you supporting them, and them, the Democrats, you just keep putting a Band-Aid on empire. I'm tired of the Band-Aids. Let the fucking thing burn.